Am I the asshole for threatening to sue both the school and the family of my daughter's bully? Seeing as though it says not the asshole poo mode, and that title kind of just like immediately out the gate kind of screams probably not. We're going to assume that you're not, but let's see. I, 30M, and my husband, 33M, have an 11-year-old daughter who's been going through severe bullying at school. It just keeps getting worse. It started off with just name calling, but it has gotten worse. It's gotten worse. Got it. Context, she's adopted, which is something we've always been open about and celebrated as part of her story. Recently, some kids found out about her adoption and started saying horrible things, telling her stuff like her birth mother didn't want her. They tell her that she's unwanted, tell her she's a reject, which is not the case. Her mother loved her very much, to the point she literally gave her life so she could be here. So yeah, almost immediately, of course you're not the asshole, but I will throw out a terrible recommendation, and that is train your daughter as an adult. Give your 11-year-old daughter adult insults to give to the kid, because those kids, listen, as an adult, you know this, mentally insanely easy to own an 11-year-old kid. So what you need to do is you need to get in there, honestly, give her a wire, have it run into the ear. You need to, while you're supposed to, I guess, working, I don't know, you're going to live stream. She's going to live stream what's going on. You're going to provide live feedback, adult responses. So whenever it's like, oh, your mom didn't love you, you can hop in with, well, your mom is addicted to Ambien, or, something, Prozac, or, just something that maybe causes, the other kid to go home to mom and go, Mom, what's Prozac? And, maybe the mom isn't even on any type of, but the point is, you got to train them. Don't take any advice from me, man. I feel like we're stating the obvious here, saying that this person is not an asshole, so I'm just trying to provide a little extra. If this wasn't bad enough, a few days ago, she came home in tears with her hair butchered. They'd cut off 2 inches of her ponytail well in class, all while taunting her names and laughing at her reaction. They will follow her through the halls to make fun of her on a regular basis now. These kids, this is like a sitcom type school where the teachers, they just aren't aware of any of this. All these kids cutting off other kids' hairs. These 11-year-old kids are out here running around with scissors. This psycho shit. These teachers, I've always, it's always a popular opinion that these teachers, they're getting paid too much. I can't think of a more a take that would get you more flack on Reddit than something like that. For real though, what are the teachers? It's great to see that bullying is still the exact same. Luckily, I was never bullied in school, but dear God, man, it's one of those things that like teachers, they just like, huh? What? What's that? A kid? Oh, this other kid called the other kid a bitch? No, I didn't see that. I didn't see any of that. I don't know what it is about teachers not. Just like, I don't know, whatever. Both my husband and I, a few days ago, both my husband and I have been in touch with the school about the bullying more times than I can count. I emailed, called, even showed up in person to speak with teachers and the principal, but all I got were empty promises that they'd look into it. Nothing changed. Amen, brother. I don't know what it is with these schools, man. I might not have been bullied myself, but I know that there is a tough love aspect to me, but sometimes like there's a difference between like a little tough love and maybe some banter and just, I don't know, flat out being fucking mean. We can cut out the like flat out being fucking mean shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my 2 F-bombs I can use in this video, so let's relax, all right? But yeah, I can be a very tough love person, but I don't just like a mean-ass bully, man. I just don't like a mean-ass bully. There's just something about them. I don't care who they're bullying. I just don't like a mean-ass bully. Nothing changed. Mental health, she's a bit anxious, struggling to sleep, and now begs us not to send her to school. Finally, out of frustration and feeling like no one is taking this seriously, we reached out to a lawyer to explore legal action against both the school and the bully's family. Only when the school and her parents learned we were considering a legal action did they start to act. Suddenly, the school calls me to say they're moving the bully out of my daughter's class and claim they had a talk with her. The girl's parents reached out too, saying they'd talked to their daughter and promised it would stop. It is kind of crazy to sue. I will say this. It's crazy to sue another family over I mean, she's cutting another girl's hair, man. It's one thing if it's like 11-year-olds being like, no, you're gay. It's another thing when, they're cutting off somebody else's hair. I'd be pissed off at that too as a parent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, I'll step to any little 11-year-old that wants to start talking shit about my fucking dog. But, Suing the school, though, I think that's an interesting play. Because, like, what are they? What? Come on. Then they start to do shit? I don't know. If tell you what, though, I feel like there'd be so many lawsuits if people kind of caught on to, like, wait, well, you're telling me. But y'all need to be on top of this bullying thing, man. We don't need any school shooters. We keep making school shooters because we just let bullies. Actually, sometimes the bullies are the parents. I'm not going to get into this because it's a highly, very complicated issue with a lot of nuance that is not very fun to talk about. But, we do have to do something about that. They're bullying in schools, at least. I think it reaches a certain point where you're going to see it online, and then you can kind of tune that out. I think that's something that, like, as an adult, you just have to learn. But kids have a hard time with that shit, man. They have a hard time with it. Finally, out of frustration and feeling like no one's taking this seriously, we sued. Anyways, but honestly, I don't believe them. It feels like they're all saying this just to get me to back off and avoid the legal consequences. I worry that once the dust settles, things will go right back to how they were, and my daughter will still be dealing with this. My family thinks I should give the school and parents a chance now that they're finally taking action, but I feel like it's all for show. I mean, if they move the kid, it's at least, they're at least moving the kid. I will say that is effort. That is something, but am I the asshole for moving forward with legal action, even though the school and the bully's parents don't claim they're handling it? Not the asshole. One of my asshole classmates to me and everyone else told me and everyone else I was adopted when I was in 6th grade. My parents were waiting to tell us, but we were both old enough to understand. No amount of anything my parents did helped. It only got better after the school year ended and we were all in different classes. I skipped to the end of that because I really just want to sort by controversial and read somebody saying, like, you have a bitch baby kid, because this is Reddit. Surely there'll be somebody, you're not the asshole, but you really need to look at what is best for your child. Is it best to divert your time and family resources to a lawsuit, or is it best for you to focus on changing your education environment? Not the asshole. Some things to consider. Who's going to be the one with the balls to call them an asshole? You're raising a little libtard. I make fun of all this because, there's zero chance. This is an actual post. First, how did they find out that she was adopted unless she told them? Nobody would know. Second, no school is going to stand behind kids cutting a ponytail off a child. No way. The amount of violence that it would take to hold her and cut her is way over the top. I mean, I totally believe that school administrators or teachers could miss that. I agree that when you get to the point where you're cutting off somebody's hair and it's a kid, right? Like, there's kids. Obviously, somebody needs to be held down, and there's scissors involved, and there could be a lot of movement and stuff, and it can get a little rough out there. All right, I know they're 11, so a lot of people, but come on, man. Last, OP being the hero by standing up to school and bullies, but asks if they are the asshole. This is standard karma farming BS. We are a gay couple. It's pretty obvious that neither of us birthed her. I guess that is a point. I completely ignored the first part about the adoption thing, because in my head I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, if they knew that if the kid has two dads, they probably assumed, well, they are 11. He's like, she's not adopted, you idiot. Gay guys give birth through the butt. Everyone knows that. Second question, I didn't say it happened in the hallway. It happened in class. The girl was sitting behind my daughter. Cutting someone's hair without their consent is battery. It's an aggressive thing to do when you think about it. Never threatened to sue, either file suit or keep quiet about it. It is a crazy thing to think about what you have to do to cut somebody's hair like that. You literally have to hold somebody down. Am I the asshole for not taking her out of school before now? You're the asshole for not taking her out of school before now. Yes, proceed with legal action. Can't you homeschool? It's more. Oh, let's not even start on the homeschooling thing on Reddit. Up to you. Not moving forward right now doesn't mean you can never pursue action. Nothing changed. You looked into the alternative schools or educational options for your daughter. Everyone sucks here. Obviously, these bully kids suck as far as the adults go. I do think you're the asshole because you seem to expect the school to do everything. I wouldn't say everything. I would just say, like, if you're dropping your kid off at a school, right? and they're around other kids, and the only like adults are there are the teachers and the staff, I would kind of maybe expect them to just like make sure the kid isn't bullied. Yeah, I would expect that. I would expect them to do everything, you know? They don't need to like pamper, burp her, you know. Can you feed her? Or can you cut her food? She needs her food cut. You need to cut her food and feed her. She needs to be fed. She can't use a fork. And no, it's not that. It's just like, hey, this is a place. There's a lot of kids. There's adults here. If the adults could just step in and make sure some of the kids aren't trying to murder, stab each other, that'd be great. You expect them to do everything? I would expect them to be around enough for them to like prevent this little girl's hair from getting cut. I would expect that, yes. Unless they snuck the cut, but still, you know what I mean? It's just crazy to me. Crazy.